Listen, reach for the stars, Wild Pack. It's Bernadette, and I'm here with your Aquarius Tarot reading for June 2021. Woo! You're going to love this month, Aquarius. Woohoo! Your animal ally is the macaque. And this particular set of macaques is, of course, from the deck that I read from, my Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck. And they're from the Family and Friends add-on deck for the main deck. And it's just such a beautiful picture. There's so many lessons in this for us. Macaques are matriarchal communities. You take a look at those beautiful babies breastfeeding, and you see the serene looks on the moms' faces. And you know what? When I look at that, all I can see are Aquarius eyes, because community and being able to nurture your community is just such an important aspect in your life. Aquarius, you're the dreamer of dreams. You see things as they can be. You see people as they can be. And listen, what else does a mom do, right? Now, even though you're very often, your zodiac sign is very often ahead of your time, you value friendships and grassroots organizations. Your social network is the vital force in your life. And macaque energy and medicine and magic is helping you to leverage your network now, as you'll need this nurturing and support of those around you. Now, this month, the key to your success is going to be to remain adaptable. Yours is the sign of dramatic change and rebelliousness. And, Aquarius, you can be socially conscious, yet the overarching theme now is to be open to changes that help uplift your larger community. And during June, you might be required to work as part of a team within a hierarchy that's going to ensure that your mission succeeds. Now, teamwork is not an issue for you. Hierarchy, on the other hand, because you're a rebel with many causes, hierarchy can be. And Macaque is here to remind you that not all power structures are bad, oppressive, or stifling. Even though you might cringe at the thought of falling into line with some network that isn't completely egalitarian, trust the lesson from Macaque and try to learn from the wisdom of the elders in your community or organization. So often you've got fantastic ideas, Aquarius. This month, it's super important for you to follow collective strategies and collaborate with others. You might feel compelled to rush off on your own, marching to your own unique drumbeat, pursuing your own vision. And that's awesome. But this month, it's just not going to work as well as it might any other time. Instead, try bringing your unique creative view into, organizing the team so that it's all about the synergy. It's all about the synchronicity, and all of those efforts can be brought together and ultimately achieve the success. Now, let's just go right into it. So the most dramatic transit for your sign is the ongoing square between Saturn, now retrograde in your sign Aquarius, and Uranus, your sign's ruler, in Taurus. This aspect is going to remain for the month, with these planets 1 degree short of an exact square. And this is a prominent aspect. It does have a global impact, so it's going to affect you vicariously by creating broader changes in society. You really might feel like you're on a slow simmer, noticing frustrations and tension, especially in the career and financial aspects of your life. And when I think of that slow simmer, Aquarius is not a water sign, but certainly there are astrologers that think maybe it should have been the 4th hidden water sign, because the waters of life flow from your jug. And so when you start putting a pot of water like that on simmer, it can blow. There she blows. She's going to blow. Don't let it do that. Now, on the 1st, Saturn retrograde in Aquarius is in a trine to the Sun in Gemini. This aspect is maintained until about the 7th, and you might feel a burst of mental energy, so much so that it makes it difficult to concentrate on one project for a prolonged period of time. And you might also have trouble sleeping because of the excessive racing of, thoughts and sudden epiphanies. And, when you're talking about incorporating a zodiac sign with a tarot reading, it gives a boost to all of the energies. And so within what's going on for you planetarily, as much as this extra boost of mental energy compels you forward, you may consciously need to make yourself slow down and be intentional. You know, you're perfectly happy tinkering around in your den, your art studio, studying on your computer, but it's going to be easy for you to go to extremes, follow exciting theories, strange ideas that all excite you, but can also uproot you, which is fine any other time than right now. So by June 9th, the moon in Gemini now creates a trine to Saturn in Aquarius. And you may have to visit a campaign or mission involving people that you care about, such as family, close friends. Revisiting a collaborative relationship or initiative now can lead to breakthroughs that challenge the status quo and also lead you to dramatically shift your thinking and attitudes. Now, you may have strong intuitive urges, especially now. Your psychic abilities are like on your wow, your spidey senses are flaring out. Even if you can't fully articulate why you're following unusual instincts, a strong urge that seems almost alarmist to extreme to others will prove really fruitful to you. So follow your own instincts. Be open to your psychic messages that are coming in now, but do so without alienating your closest allies and people who are like family to you. Now, opening up new lines of communication. Pardon me. Try not to overthink things now. You may have a chance to break the ice and kickstart a conversation, especially with unusual people or people whose ideas seem unorthodox, rebellious, extreme, and doing so can lead you to embrace super innovative plans that you hadn't considered before. The new moon solar eclipse is in Gemini on the 10th, and this is going to trigger new ideas and breakthroughs for you. So even if the news seems to be a little bit unsettling or disturbing first, you're going to be able to draw on the support of your network and community to make the most out of a drastic change or unusual situation. So try to spend some time with friends or a group of unconventional people who are free thinking and not afraid to challenge you. There's value in someone challenging your expectations and helping you know, make what may currently helping you see what may currently be in your blind spot. And whether you know it or not, Aquarius, you are often that catalyst for others. But now is the time to invite others who can help you see beyond your own limitations. Limitations you may not even know that you had, and they're not really limitations. Certainly you are unlimited in your potential. But sometimes when we get to a certain point, we're like boink, 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 and we're not really sure why we're not able to step past that. And it all will boil down to some preconceived notion about limitations, even if you don't give it that word, right? Or preconceived notion about a phrase or a happening or a whatever. You get it. So what you want to do is surround yourself with people who inspire you, and encourage your creativity. Pardon me. Later this month in June, Mercury retrograde in Gemini comes into a distant trine with Saturn, also retrograde in Aquarius, yet this trine will not take place until about the 20th. On June 24th, Saturn in Aquarius forms a square with Uranus in Taurus, while also coming into opposition with the moon in Leo. And this is going to trigger a few very different reactions. Saturn is forming a square to Uranus. That's going to reactivate this aspect, which has been triggered already this year and will be again. An unresolved situation causing underlying tension between your ideals, which you do out of financial obligation, your dream big, your big dream versus your day job, for example, that might be revisited. This may also be a time for you to make dramatic change to finances, your work, your health routines, so you can stay ahead of the curve. Now, for your zodiac sign, this can be an aspect that can be super challenging to your sense of comfort and security. And you may not find it too unsettling because you're always looking for ways to refine, innovate, and advance. What is likely to be more stressful for you, though, is the simultaneous opposition between Saturn and the moon in Leo. This aspect between the Saturn and the moon will be more inclined to frustrate you on an emotional level. Even if you can adjust your perspective and adapt your mindset and attitude to open up to new options in career, work, health, finances, the opposition between Saturn and the moon will be more inclined to hit a nerve because the moon in Leo speaks to your deeper ego desires. On a conscious level, though, Aquarius, you may understand that your mission involves improving life for your community or society at large. And most of the time, that's just perfectly fulfilling for you. But during this transit, you may suddenly feel like rebelling against this very sentiment. You know, you may become a little bit grandiose, you know, feeling compelled to put your own accomplishments and desires above all else, you know, just once. Rather than hiding from this impulse, listen to it. You don't have to act on it, but the impulse is telling you that some of your personal ambitions really could use more attention and nurturing, but in balance to your obligations to others. And, you know, really, if you don't see them as obligations, but more of a sacred contract, it can go a lot smoother for you. Now, June 15th through the 17th bring two planets transiting your opposite sign, Leo. The moon does so quickly, and this involves the opposition to Saturn described above. Mars will be in early degrees of transitioning the sign, and that's where he's going to spend most of the month. Now, aside from the opposition to Saturn, the moon transiting Leo can embolden you and help you express deep emotions in creative ways. You might feel drawn to pick up, you know, amp up the spice in your home life or your family relationships. The more enduring Mars transit through Leo builds on this energy of empowerment. And Mars transiting Leo may trigger you to confront issues that are kind of the opposite of how you view yourself. For instance, you know, you might see yourself as this like amicable, flexible, forward thinking, you know, maybe even a team player. But Mars transiting Leo draws your attention to the aspects of you that are sometimes demanding, self focused, and self conscious. Try to notice when you're feeling unusually defensive or extra sensitive to what may seem like rejection. Chances are, what feels like personal criticism isn't intended as the insult you might perceive. This is a good time to find the balance between devoting yourself to your larger mission and honoring your individual needs. While Mars transiting Leo generally triggers issues associated with your opposite sign, pay close attention to the events on June 27th. Saturn is going to come into exact opposition with Mars in Leo, while the moon is passing Saturn in Aquarius and forming a conjunction. Remember, Saturn is retrograde now, so, you know, things could feel more chaotic, like a lot more chaotic. So the opposition between Mars and Saturn may also bring events that aggravate your desire for freedom and complete autonomy. Restrictions can feel more frustrating than usual. You might feel like alienating yourself or giving up on a major project or goal. This is an important time to find your motivation and not take roadblocks seriously. You may be able to power through some obstacles, but admitting when your strategy isn't working and being willing to pivot is also a form of power. Aquarius, give yourself permission to use your creativity. You may feel confined by the status quo, but you can always find ways to work around limitations without, you know, without discarding or disregarding conventions. So I hope that was helpful. Pick up your copy of the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that bell so you get all the notifications. And please remember, I am only answering questions and responding to comments on my forums, gatheringofmystics.com. Gatheringofmystics.com. It's free to join. They're my private forums, so it's a very safe place to be. Make sure that you get on over there. I will be answering questions as much as I can, responding to comments as much as I can in YouTube, but no texts, no Facebooks, no emails, no nothing like that. Please get on over to gatheringofmystics.com, where I'll be very, very happy to help you in any way that I can. So I hope that was helpful. And what are the most important things? To do good for animals, including yourself, stay wild, and keep reaching for those stars.